was a close call. And they carved over 90% of this mountain using dynamite. One day there's a man setting all the dynamite charges for the day. And when they carved this mountain, they sat on little tiny wooden chairs hanging from a cable as big around as my pinky finger. So he's sitting in that little tiny chair setting all his dynamite charges for the day, and just as he sets the last one, a thunderstorm rolls in. And a strike of lightning ignites that dynamite with him right in front of it. And everyone on top of the mountain saw that happen. They said they could see that chair go flying backwards with him hanging on for dear life. And they have no idea what to expect. And it's loud, and there's all that rock falling, and they wait until all the dust settles, and it's finally quiet. Someone gets up the courage to lean over the side of the mountain, and he calls down, "Are you okay?" And the answer he gets back, "Well, I'm fine, but it blasted off my shoes." And he never did find his shoes, but he was okay. After that, his nickname was Lucky. I think he earned it.
Wow.
Yeah, so when you look up at the mountain, you see all the rock underneath. That's 450,000 tons of rock, mostly removed with dynamite.
And they didn't cart any off, they just
They just left it there. Yeah, so if you get a chance at any point, perhaps if you take the presidential trail, you can see the tool marks that remain on the rock, which is really interesting.
So to make, I'm just trying to think of how they blast the dynamite. They would drill holes, right?
Yep.
And basically thinking of it like as a cross section of the face of the president. So they drill holes, put the charge down there, blast it, they would shed that layer off, and then they go down lower on the face, create a new profile.
Yeah, exactly. So they kind of worked by first making kind of a rough egg shape, and then they would go through, and once they got within a couple inches of the final surface, some of those guys said that they were good enough to get within 1.5 inches of what we see today. They would start to be a lot more careful. They would use their jackhammers to create really fine rows of holes that looked like honeycomb, a process called honeycombing, and that made the rock really easy to remove with just a hammer and chisel, and that would bring it down to the final layer.
Did they do Lincoln last?
No, they did Roosevelt last. That's one of the reasons that he's so far back there. He was not on any of the original models, so he got the worst piece of rock, and when they started that, they weren't even sure that they would be able to get him on there. They kept going further and further back, trying to find rock that didn't have any flaws. Because they knew if he didn't make it on the mountain, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Although, a lot of people say he's only on the mountain because he was the sculptor's favorite president.
Did it?
And he had a lot to do with the national parks, so I'm sure that didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
When we were looking at it, it looked like towards the outside of Lincoln's face, it looked like, I don't know, it looked like it wasn't as detailed?
That is true. So part of Lincoln's face you can see there wasn't finished. He doesn't have an ear. Well, actually none of the presidents have ears. But
Okay.
He should have. And a couple things happened with that. They were still finishing up on Lincoln when they started on Roosevelt. But in 1941, it was kind of just bad luck. A lot of things happened at the same time. The sculptor, Borglum, passed away, funding ran out, and World War II was starting. So they cleaned up what they could, but they never finished what they wanted. And in fact, when you look up at Lincoln, you can see it kind of looks like steps just below his chin.
Yep.
And that was him grabbing his collar, which was a common mannerism. They intended to have his entire hand and collar there as well. It would be incredible if they were finished to the degree of the original sculptures.
Who did they carve out first?
George Washington. He got the best piece of rock, and he was first.
Now, is it true there's caves up there?
What there is up there is the Hall of Records. And the Hall of Records is kind of a man-made cave of sorts. So it is that little tunnel right there. There's 2 rock faces up there. And the Hall of Records was a kind of a crazy idea by the sculptor Borglum. What he wanted was a rotunda set in, and he wanted it to be 120 feet wide and 30 feet tall, and they were going to store the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and only an act of Congress could access that. But he didn't ask for permission for any of it. And it was a federally funded project. So when they found out that he was spending all of his time and money on drilling that man-made cave and not finishing Lincoln's face, they were a little unhappy, and they told him to stop that. So what is up there today is a man-made tunnel about 15 feet tall, 10 feet back. Nothing in it.
Now, what's the highest you can walk up to?
That's right in the middle of the base.
Okay.
Yep. No one's allowed up there today, not even me. And
Okay.
believe me, I have asked plenty of times.
Thank you so much.
Thank